be everyone will be muted. You're welcome to have your screen on or off, whatever suits. And we're going to get started now. So again, thank you for taking the time to join us. Please pop in the chat box where you're joining us from today. And there will also be time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. So feel free to pop any questions along the way also. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mary O'Regan. I am the Director of Sales here at Katie Daly's Ireland. This is our first webinar of the fall season. So very excited to have two wonderful colleagues from Ireland joining us today. We're going to virtually travel to County Cork, the largest county in Ireland. There is so much on offer here. You'll hear about two fabulous offerings, a chic luxury hotel that overlooks Cork City and an iconic experience available at one of the world's most famous distilleries. But first, I'd like to introduce our company president, Katie Daly.
Thank you, Mary. How are we coming into fall already, Mary? Just a big hello and a big thank you to Helen and to Ray for joining us today, and to Mary. Thank you as always for putting these fabulous webinars together, and to all the agents, thank you so much. We've 30 on this call already, which is amazing, and a lot more registered. We want to just say a big thank you for your business. You know, we're still working on fall, so we're still welcoming people to Ireland for the next couple of months, and we'd love to help you if you have any fall business. And indeed for September and Thanksgiving, there's still lots going on in Ireland. So I'll hand you over now back to Mary, and just a big thank you to everybody again for joining us.
That's right. Yeah, we'll hear a little bit about that today. Fall is a great time to travel to Ireland. There's lots of festivals. Ireland is the home of Halloween. So we do have, you'll be seeing a little bit about that too from us in the next week or so, offers on for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, New Year. So I just want to take a quick moment to shout out. We have New Jersey, Tennessee, Boston, Colorado, Pittsburgh, Farmingdale, New York, of course, my wonderful colleagues in Cork, Tucson, Pennsylvania. So we're all over the country here. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. So first, I'd like to introduce a great industry colleague, Ray Kelleher. He's the Director of Business Development at the Montenotte. The Montenotte is a vibrant, family-owned, design-led destination hotel with a playful and eclectic vibe that offers guests an experience like no other. The hotel was built within the former 18th century residence of a merchant prince and is a Garden of Eden in the heart of Cork. They're a proud member of Small Luxury Hotels of the World, and I'm very excited to share that today we will discover their new Woodland Suite experience, which opened just over a month ago, offering a rare urban luxury retreat. So Ray, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much, Mary. It's such a pleasure to join yourself and Katie and Helen, of course, my industry colleague from Cork. Thrilled to be on this webinar this afternoon. Well, this morning, probably for you guys, an afternoon, depending on what part of the US. 7:05 in Ireland PM for myself and Helen in sunny Indian summered Cork, because we're about 23 degrees today. So stunning weather. But no, it's a pleasure to be on the call. I'm delighted. Love joining you guys, and you're such a fantastic support of our property. I'm very excited to present the hotel as normal, but adding, as you mentioned, the Woodland Suite experience today to that presentation.
It looks so fabulous, right? And we've heard so many great things. There's been so much great press about it. So congrats to you and all the team there. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very excited. It took a while. It's been a long time in the planning. Our owners took over the property in 2016, and that was kind of the start of the transition to what the Montenotte is today. We're an urban resort, in essence. So it's kind of a unique proposition for Ireland. But within 10 minutes of the property, you're in the heart of Cork City. Yet within 25 minutes, you're out enjoying the fabulous offering that Helen has at the Midleton Distillery experience. You know what I mean? So we're very much close to the countryside as well. And Cork, of course, is a phenomenal maritime city and county, which you have in your gorgeous backdrop there, Mary.
Yep, exactly.
Will I present?
Yes, if you can, we're
Yeah,
ready to hear all about the
absolutely.
beautiful Montenotte.
Great. I'm just going to make sure that
And I love that it's probably still a lovely bright evening there, Ray, is it?
it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
My residence is in Clonakilty in West Cork, so I have that beautiful drive to the city every day. But it's a beautiful evening. I'm actually back home now, but it's a beautiful evening in West Cork. So happy days. So thank you so much,
absolutely.
Mary and Katie. So I'll plow into the presentation. As I said, we're the Montenotte. The hotel dates back over 75 years as a hotel. Originally Lee View Hotel, then became the Country Club, and then became the Montenotte in 2006. It was only when our owners took over the current owners took over the property in 2016, as I mentioned, that they really transitioned the property into what it is today. About plus 20 million has been spent, to be honest, during that time, including a recent investment of 8 million to create the Woodland Suite experience. We're Ireland's urban resort. So as I mentioned, 10 minutes into the city centre, and you are, you know what I mean, or within 10 minutes, you're out in the countryside. Everybody knows where Cork is on the map. So it's very much to the south of Ireland. We're very much a maritime city and county. These are just some of the numerous attractions that are available for your guests when they come to visit Cork. So there's everything from the phenomenal Old Head Kinsale. Golf is huge in Cork, and whether it's a links or with a parkland course. And then you've got different attractions like the Crawford Art Gallery. Your clients can go and ring the bells of Shannon, which is a phenomenal experience in the city, or they might want to take a rib tour out with Ocean Escapes out to the coastline, or visit Cove. So as you can see here with my presentation, you got Cove, which was Ireland's with the last port called the Titanic. You also have Spike Island there, which you can see in the lower image there, and of course Cove is a cruise liner destination as well. Obviously Cork is synonymous with kissing the Blarney Stone with Blarney Castle, which is only a 15-minute drive from the Montenotte. I know Helen's coming up next, but Helen's story of the Midleton Distillery experience is very much part of our presentation. It's very much probably the lead attraction in Cork, and it very much is part of everything we do at the Montenotte. I have two videos to show, Mary, if that's okay. And I'm going to show the first one. We did this last year, and I suppose it just gives a little bit of a vibe of how the Montenotte becomes alive at night.
It's showtime.
So again,
fabulous, right?
Yeah. Thanks a million, Mary. We had great fun creating that video last year. And part of that, I mean, you will see all the various amenities we have on offer, which I'll go through in a moment. But these are just some of the faces of the Montenotte. Everybody from Danielle here, who's our house manager and looks after guest relations, who Mary you've met during your previous day. To Ken, our doorman. Yep. Yeah, to Ken, our doorman there, who's the embodiment of Cork, knows everything about what to do for our clients. We did a beautiful refurbishment to the front facade of the property last year. So you've got this gorgeous living wall. But again, the building dates back over 200 years because we were the former home of a merchant prince. That prince was a butter merchant, like so many in Cork were. And he bought the site so we could watch his cargo coming in and out of Cork Harbour, which is a luxury in itself, to be honest. And you'll see in a moment that the spa area, which is right beside, close to the entrance, is part of the original house. These are just some of the images from the lobby area to Panorama, which is our main restaurant where we serve breakfast, lunch and dinner here. This is brasserie style restaurant, and there's lovely Italian leather booths. You've got fantastic views overlooking the city. And next year, Mary, we'll be adding another restaurant to the resort. We'll be adding a 60-seat refined dining restaurant, something potentially like a Japanese grill. It'll have a floating whiskey bar and also an art gallery. So it never stops at the Montenotte. This is something we added to the resort back in 2021. This is the Glass House, which is our cocktail bar. This is the center of the resort, and you get the gorgeous courtyard area. Actually, earlier on this year, we added these gorgeous monochrome parasols to this area, which is absolutely beautiful. That's the exterior, and this is the interior. The Glass House is where you go from 4 o'clock for your cocktails, maybe some of your own. We distill our own gin. I know Helen will talk a lot about whiskey and gin later, but we have our own Montenotte gin, which we do distill, and it's available for guests. It's our pouring gin. But this is a beautiful space and phenomenal views overlooking the city. And from when it comes to an experiences perspective, with this phenomenal 50-seater cinema, where we have movies on a nightly basis at 5 and 9 p.m. We curate our own list of movies every single month. So you could have everything from Oppenheimer tonight to Gone with the Wind tomorrow night. And again, if your clients are traveling and they might be part of a more multi-generational stay, or there might be multiple rooms, we can do private dining in the gallery suite as well for those clients. A beautiful room, which is gorgeous natural daylight streaming in. But also the walls are adorned with beautiful artwork, which is available throughout the property. This is the view from a panorama terrace, which sits alongside the restaurant. These are the most phenomenal views, and we do claim to have the best views in Cork, and I'm sure Helen will agree with me that it's pretty much the best views in the city. This was a shot we took last January 12 month, and this was sunset at 5 p.m. in Cork, which is absolutely breathtaking. And this terrace overlooks our gorgeous Victorian sunken gardens, which were reclaimed in 2018 and redeveloped because they date back to 1900. And if you see the little field for our guests online today, the little field below the garden is where the Woodland Suite development was done. So I always keep this slide in so people can get a sense of where the Woodland Suite development is. And then from a facilities perspective, again, experiences continue. You've got a 6 treatment room spa, which were 2 different product ranges. We also have a health and fitness club with 20-meter pool, sauna, steam, jacuzzi, and an extensive gym. But part of the spa experience, we've just opened in the last 6 months, the Salt Room, which is this stunning post-treatment relaxation area. The wall itself, you can see, is made from 1,400 Himalayan salt bricks, which came all the way from Pakistan. And it's a gorgeous relaxation space, which you have as your post-treatment. So again, salt therapy is fantastic for people with respiratory issues, or those with, it's very good for your skin as well. Mary, this is the look and feel of our rooms. So we have 2 different room types predominantly in the hotel. We have 107 bedrooms, but we have our entry-level boutique rooms, and we also have our executive rooms, which you can see on screen here. A lot of your clients would tend to book the executive level room, but again, they're about 26 square meters in size. We also have 2 suites in the hotel part as well. So we've got the junior suite and the merchant suite as well. And we also have 26 1- and 2-bedroom self-catering apartments as well. So maybe for some of your leisure guests that might want to book a self-catering offering, but looking for all the amenities and facilities of a resort, this is another option for our guests online today. And then, Mary, we opened, as we were been talking about, the Woodland Suite experience back on the 1st of August only. So it's been a phenomenal 6 to 7 weeks. It's about 2-3 years in the making. And I know we've spoke about it at length, and I've presented it numerous stages to you. It is coming, but it has landed, and the feedback has been phenomenal. I'm going to play a video now, which is just 1 minute, Mary, if you'll indulge me. And
Perfect.
then this is of the Woodland Suite experience. But this actual still image is brilliant. It shows the actual resort and how it's all comes together.
It looks so amazing, Ray. It just,
Oh yeah, no, it really is special, and honestly,
yeah,
we're so proud. We're so proud of it. And we've had phenomenal. Actually, about 40% of our guests already are US. So about 25-30% is domestic Irish, and then the rest is kind of UK and Swiss. That's kind of a makeup of our current guests. These are the river suites. They're 50 square meters in size. We've four of these particular suites. This is the look and feel of the interior. So again, they are classified as self-catering, five-star self-catering from a Fáilte Ireland perspective, only because we're a four-star deluxe resort. We couldn't have a room offering that was five-star as well as a four-star. So this
right.
is why they're categorized as self-catering. But in essence, Mary, nobody's going to self-cater here. They've got that
Yeah.
kitchenette, but they ain't using that hob. So you get a gorgeous stone bar there as well. Each of our guests on arrival, you actually have our Jameson Black Barrel as complimentary on arrival, and we've got this stunning cheese board from the English market here in Cork City. So that's the amenity welcome.
Wow, that's
And
lovely. It's
and
really
these are
nice.
the woodland suites. So again, these are the interiors. So just very briefly, just from an experience perspective, guests arrive at the front of the hotel. For this experience, we've full valet service, so their car will be taken. We have electric golf buggies, which bring the guests right down to the resort. This is fully gated, closed out, so it's completely private, all 9 suites, and they're taken directly to the clubhouse, which is on screen now. And you get champagne on arrival, your room directly. So whether the guests are going straight to the river suite or they're going to the woodland suite, our team will give them a full tour of the room, and then they come back to the clubhouse between 5:30 and 6:30 each evening for sundowner cocktails and canapes. And then they can do whatever they might want to have dinner in the restaurant or go to the glass house for more drinks. And then they have breakfast in the clubhouse. So at our max capacity, we'll only ever have 18 guests in this development. We have 9 suites, so all double occupancy. They're not twinned, they're only for doubles, and they're only really suitable for couples or single occupancy. And
Amazing.
that's us. And that's us at the Montenotte.
Oh, it's so brilliant, Ray. I mean, there's so much on offer. I mean, your presentation is fantastic. But the hotel is just, it's just incredible. And to have those suites, I mean, I will go through the comments and at the end there, but there's just such lovely feedback. I think most people here are pretty surprised to see that that's on offer in Cork City. And as you mentioned, so much just on the doorstep. So it's definitely a destination that your clients will want to stay for a few nights. There's, the hotel, there's just so much there that you can just stay and chill out. And again, it's ideal then for touring around in the immediate area there. So thank you so much, Ray. Just beautiful. I can't wait to visit and check them out myself.
I know. Roll on November, Mary.
Thanks for being again, Ray. So now, not far from the Montenotte, you will find one of the world's most famous distilleries. Discover the heart and soul of Irish whiskey at Midleton Distillery Experience. In addition to the Midleton Distillery Experience Signature Tour, there are a variety of craft experiences available, including a behind-the-scenes tour, a premium whiskey tasting, and a cask opening experience. So it is my pleasure to now introduce Helen Murphy. She is the Business Development Executive there, and she's going to tell us more about these offerings. How are you, Helen?
I'm very good. Thank you, Mary. Very good. And hello to everybody on this call. A sincere thank you for joining us. And it's our pleasure, both from Ray and the Montenotte and myself, to be presenting to you all this evening. And thank you to Mary and Katie for facilitating it. So yes, so I'm with the Midleton Distillery Experience, which is famous because we were previously called the Jameson Distillery Experience, but we just changed our name recently, and we're just located just outside Cork City, just 20 minutes from indeed the city centre or from Ray and the Montenotte. And our claim to fame is that it's now in Midleton that all Jameson is made these days. So you might be a little bit surprised by that. You might say, but I thought Jameson was made in Dublin. It was for many, many years. It started in Dublin way back in 1780. But a number of years ago, back in the mid-1970s, they wanted to expand Jameson, and there was no room for expansion up in Dublin. They were in the city centre, so they were constrained by the other buildings near them. But they had amalgamated with the distillery down in Cork, So they moved all the production down to Cork. It became the Jameson Distillery Midleton in Cork, right down on the south coast. And ever since the mid-1970s, that's where all Jameson is made today. So we still have a lovely visitor centre up in Dublin, which is a fantastic visit. And now I'm going to show you a little bit about what we offer in Cork. I will just expand it there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think probably most people are surprised to hear that, Helen. I think that's like a fun fact about the distillery, that all of the world's Jameson is now produced there.
Absolutely. Yes, it's something that it's our lovely claim to fame, and you know, we're delighted to be able to say that. And the other amazing thing is, Mary, we not only make Jameson in Midleton, but we have 7 different families of whiskey which we're making. And Jameson is the big brand name that's known, but the others are beginning to catch up in pace. So some people on the call here might be familiar with our Redbreast family of whiskies. They're gaining a lot of popularity, particularly in the US.
Yeah.
And in order to showcase what all the different families of whiskey that we make in Midleton, in fact, the bottom photo you see here on the screen, when people walk in the front door of the distillery, the first sight they're greeted with is a complete wall of whiskey, showcasing all the different families of whiskey that we make. So that wall there is made up of almost 1,000 bottles of whiskey. So straight away, when people walk in the door, they whip out their cameras and they start making Instagram moments. It's a really special first impression for people when they walk in. And the other big news, besides this fact about being the home of Jameson, the other big factor is that we've just completed a major 2-year redevelopment on our visitor centre. So why is this significant? Well, we've been a visitor centre since 1992, but just in the last 2 years, we reimagined the space inside. And it was like a beautiful swan unveiling itself back in early March. We opened it back up and everywhere inside has been redesigned. So we kept the beautiful shell of the building because it's a building that dates from the 1790s. So it's an old building, but inside we've recreated this wonderful space. So as you walk into the building, you not only see that fabulous wall of whiskies, but that we make all on site, but then you can see right down through the visitor centre, which is a really big building, and you see down into our wonderful gift shop and down beyond into the various bars. So it's a really nice first impression, and it's wonderfully spacious. So whether you're arriving just as a smaller group or slightly larger group, or you know, maybe you're just a couple arriving, you're going to be well impressed. It sort of appeals to everybody. And then moving on, so we offer a range of different experiences in Midleton, and each one is quite unique in its own way. So I'm going to draw your attention to 3 particular experiences for the purposes of this evening's presentation. So the first one I would like to mention is the experience in the top middle tile there. It's the Midleton Distillery Experience Tour and Premium Whisky Tasting. So this is combining the best of both worlds. You get a wonderful guided tour through the original distillery. You get to do a lovely comparative whisky tasting of 3 of our whiskies along the way. And then you come back into the fabulous bar area and we take you to one of our private tasting rooms. There you sit down and over the course of 25 minutes, you get a premium whisky tasting, a tasting of 4 of our premium whiskies. It's a tutor tasting, so you sit back, you taste each one in turn. Our fabulous brand ambassadors and craft ambassadors take you through all that. But the beauty of this is everything that you've learned out from the tour, and a huge amount of knowledge is imparted during the tour, but everything you learn out on tour comes to life during the premium whisky tasting. So what I'd say to you and your clients is, it's really valuable to book the Midleton Distillery Experience Tour, but add on the premium whisky tasting to the end. It's the real icing on the cake. Directly beneath that, then, we have our Midleton cocktail class. So this is a new offering that we've offered. So we've built this amazing room in the up in the upper area of the distillery. It's a beautiful dedicated room only used for our cocktail classes, which happen twice a day. So these are public classes, so your clients can either join a public class, and we take up to 16 people on the class, or if you have a little group and they say, actually, we'd love to book out the cocktail class for ourselves, that's also an option as well. So, you know, you can have it either private or public. It's great to have either option. So what happens during that? Well, essentially, you make it and you create and taste 3 different cocktails under the expert guidance of our in-house mixologist. I did it myself a couple of months ago because it was just a new offering. So I wanted to see what it was all about. And it was tremendous fun. A number of people in the room I didn't know when I was doing it, but it's so immersive and so fun and so interactive. Everybody's chatting to each other by the end of the experience. So that's lovely for your clients coming from the US, because the one thing they want to do is interact with other people on their visit. And Irish people are very friendly. We have that reputation and everybody lives up to it. So if you're in the class, there's most likely going to be other Irish people doing it as well, and you're going to have great fun interacting with them. So that's the Midleton cocktail class, as I say, available every day, either as a public or a private experience. And then in the top right-hand corner, this is the 3rd experience I'm going to draw your attention to, and Ray referred to it there during his presentation. It's our lovely behind-the-scenes tour. What's the appeal in this tour? Well, the big appeal is it's a small group tour. It just takes a maximum of 12 people. So it has that lovely personal touch to it. And as the name says, you get in under the skin of the distillery. So you see everything that you would have been seeing in the Midleton Distillery Experience Tour or flagship tour, but you get to see a lot more. And also you get 3 tastings of premium whiskey along the way. But not only that, they happen in really special areas of the distillery. So we take the group, for example, into our micro distillery, and you get a little tutored session there, and you get to taste one of our lovely premium whiskies. We bring you on and we get to bring you into our cooperage on site. Guests never get to see our cooperage. We're the only distillery in Ireland that still has coopers. So coopers repair the casks that we get in from all over the world. The majority of our casks actually come from the distilleries in the US, in Kentucky in particular. So, and they're bourbon casks. So again, there's that great connection with the US. So as I say, the coopers, they're not there when the group visits their workshop, but they get to see all the tools that they use. They hear all about their work, and they get to see the amazing, they're surrounded by casks in every direction. It's a tremendous experience. And then last but not least, we bring you into our beautiful distiller's cottage on site. And I have a little picture of that in a moment. So as I say, you're getting in under the skin of the distillery, seeing areas that members of the public don't normally get to see, small group experience, maximum 12 people, and tremendous interaction with the guide that's showing you around. A point to note about our guides, a lot of our guides are local people. So again, there's that lovely connection with the local people, and lots of interaction and chat, and plenty of opportunity to ask questions as well along the way. A lot of your clients might have already visited distilleries in other areas around the world, but an Irish distillery is unique. It has its own particular way of making whiskey, and the clients want to know all about that. So lots of opportunity to hear all about it and also ask questions. So if in all the things that you see in Midleton, if you were to say, okay, just give me 2 or 3 highlights. So one particular highlight is we bring everybody into this wonderful warehouse. It's filled with 800 casks. They're all full of whiskey. So not only is it visually very impressive, but the aromas when you walk into this room. If we ask people years later, what do you remember of your trip to Midleton? This is what they remember. It's our live maturation warehouse. It's again one of the oldest warehouses on site. And it's, as I say, full of these mature whiskey casks, full of mature whiskey, amazing aromas. And we explain all about the angel's share in there, the evaporation process that's coming from the casks. And then on the right-hand side, our other big highlight along the tour route, there are many, but one of them is we are able to say we have the largest copper pot still in the world. So copper pot stills are really instrumental in the making of Irish whiskey in the traditional Irish way. So we're proud enough to say we are very proud to say we have the largest one in the world, which is quite something. It can hold 144,000 litres. So it's so vast, people try and photograph it with their iPhones, and it's so big they can hardly get it into the photo frame. So it's quite something. And the other big highlight that I'd mention along the way is that visit into the working micro distillery. We also bring everybody into the working micro distillery. So that's really nice. So when we were going about the redevelopment that I mentioned at the beginning, this reimagining of all of our spaces inside, we decided, you know, we're a whiskey distillery. We want to make the bar part of it really stand out. So we not only created one wonderful bar, but two amazing spacious bars on site. This is just one of them, but as you can see, it's beautifully lit. We highlight up all our beautiful whiskies so that they really glow, and the amber whiskey inside is glowing in the beautiful lighting effects that we have. And just off this as well, if people want to have a little bite to eat, we have a cafe on site. So if they want a little bite before or after they go out on tour, that's also a big option. But this space is proving tremendous with visitors. They're lingering on much longer than they did before. They're really relaxed. They're interacting with others, saying, how did you get on tour? What was your favorite spot? It's just a real hub of activity and enjoyment now at the new visitors centre. And then I mentioned earlier there that if you're booking our flagship experience, add on that premium whiskey tasting. Don't leave it out, because this is the type of room then we bring the guests to. We sit them down and give them that tutored premium whiskey tasting. We have several different rooms, private whiskey tasting rooms in the distillery. They're all completely different in decor, but they all have this wonderful kind of, a bit of a wow effect, because you've got the original stone walls, you've got flooring made out of whiskey staves, or the staves, the wood parts of the barrel, and of course our lovely whiskies on display. So there's a real wow factor to our whiskey tasting rooms as well. And this is our beautiful cocktail making class. And so this is an enlarged picture of it. So as I say, that's available daily, even either as a private or public experience. They make and create 3 lovely cocktails. We reserve an area down in the bar at the end, and they get to go down there, sit down and relax over their last cocktail, drink it at leisure. And as a little keepsake then, we've made out a little bespoke cocktail book. It's our own creation with lots of recipes, and they get that as a lovely take-home gift. So it's a really lovely finishing touch that guests very much enjoy. They don't expect it, so they absolutely love that little finishing touch, and it's a lovely memento. We're very much in the premium whiskey tasting end of things. And as part of that, all of our whiskies, you know, they just go from one premium whiskey tasting or one premium whiskey to the next, either to taste on site or to purchase or both. So this is our master distiller here. He's tremendously skilled at bringing out these amazing whiskies, and we've developed a whole new area in the distillery now called our whiskey vault, and it's showcasing the pinnacle of our whiskies. So anybody can go in there and see the amazing, the most outstanding whiskies we have to offer. And in there at the moment, we have whiskies, and they're retailing at €55,000 per bottle. So that'll give you an idea of some of the extra premium range that we're offering. And down in here in the bottom right-hand corner, you might remember a minute ago I mentioned on behind the scenes, you get to go into the distiller's cottage. So this is an amazing space on site. So this is one of the beautiful rooms in the distiller's cottage. And on the behind the scenes, they get to do a premium whiskey tasting in the cottage. It was in the olden days where our master distiller and his family used to live. It's a beautiful space. And then people always ask, well, if we're going to the distillery, can we get a whiskey there that you can't get elsewhere? The answer is yes. This is one of the whiskies. It's exclusive to the distillery. You won't see it in any of the liquor stores in the US. You won't even see it at the duty free when you're exiting through one of the airports in Ireland. It's exclusive literally to the distillery. And not only that, you can personalize it. So you can put your name on or get somebody else's name on the label of the bottle. And it also goes on the presentation box. Just takes a couple of minutes to do. You don't have to pre-order it or anything. You can just do it there in our gift shop, and it's a beautiful present either for yourself or for somebody else back home. And you know, you're allowed to pack in at least 2 bottles of whiskey into your luggage to bring it home. We don't ship to the US because unfortunately we get stopped by customs and excise in the US. But as I say, the limit is at least 2 bottles, full bottles of whiskey in your luggage. And so that gives you that option of bringing that home. On that note, we also do a lovely experience in the gift shop, and I should really have a slide in about this. And you can bottle your own bottle of whiskey. You bottle it yourself, you seal it yourself, you put on the cap, and you write your own label and then label it up yourself. And you write a little message in our guest ledger for posterity. So I always say to people, take a little video, and if you're giving it to somebody back home, show them all the trouble you went to. And it's really that lovely extra touch again. And last but not least, we have a fabulous program called our cask program. So this is where people can buy their own very cask of a full cask of mature whiskey, and we bottle it up then at various periods of the year. And people come and collect it sometimes, or they might get it back home by some other method. We're working on a way of getting it into the US direct to them, but just nice to know that it's there as an option if you have clients looking for their own private cask of whiskey. So that concludes the presentation. So I hope that gives you a good overview.
Amazing, Helen. I think so many people we'll go through some of the questions and comments now. And again, thank you everybody for joining us. If you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat box there now. But so many people are surprised that this is really the home of Jameson whiskey and among the other brands that you mentioned. I think there's been quite a few comments on that there. So we've definitely learned a lot of new things there today, and so many fabulous experiences that Helen mentioned there, especially even for groups looking for private options. It doesn't have to be a big group. We work with the agents to tailor it depending on budget, timings, things like that. But there is, bringing home like that bottle of whiskey is really just bringing back a piece of Ireland,
Absolutely. And the wonderful thing is, we source all our barley for making the whiskey in Ireland. We employ all the people in our distillery who make the whiskey. The vast majority of them are Irish. So, there's that wonderful heritage and supporting Irish jobs piece. We employ all our guides. The majority of our guides are from the locality. So, this is something that your clients, your guests are not going to experience anywhere else. And it's a quintessential, authentic Irish experience, which is exactly what people are looking for these days.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Irish whiskey, Uisce Bretha, is the water of life, as we say. So a very important part of the industry. But to be able to bring home a special bottle like that really is a very, very unique experience. So something for the agents to all keep in mind for their clients, people that are looking for something a little different. This is very much it. So I'm going to breeze through some of the questions that we have here, comments. Ray, I've seen you popping on answering some of these, so thank you. And thank you all for staying with us. I know we're just a little over time, but yes, I'm just going to start at the beginning. The Woodland Suites are available to book now. They have been open since the beginning of August. They've had great press reaction as well. So certainly check them out. We're happy to provide more information on that. The Montenotte is a luxury hotel. I know Ray mentioned there is no standard dress code per se there. There was a question on that, but it is a luxury hotel offering. It is definitely a luxury urban retreat. Amazing amenities on site, fabulous restaurant, spa, as we've gone through. So yeah, if there's any other questions on that, do let us know. It is quite close to the city center. The views there are absolutely phenomenal. It just overlooks the city. And we book our clients there all the time, and they have wonderful feedback. And again, anything that clients need, whether if they're driving themselves, there's car parking on site. If your clients need a chauffeur service, we organize that. There is also lots of train transportation available in Cork. It's one of the major cities and hubs within Ireland. So we put all the details like that together. And again, taxis can be organized, things like that. The Midleton Distillery is not far from the city. There is train service available. Again, if clients are not driving, we can arrange transfers or chauffeur service. And Ray has popped in there that there is a train that is just a short walk. So that's great as well. Then just another question, Helen, I'll keep from Evelyn. is how long roughly do you need for the tour and premium tasting experience?
2 hours.
Yeah.
That's generally what we would recommend. Build on maybe another 15-20 minutes for a little browse in the gift shop. But essentially the tour and premium whiskey tasting, that in itself, 2 hours.
Yeah, it is iconic. And we always stress to people not to pack too much in. You need to give yourself time, because then you walk away saying, I wish we had more time there. And then, are you open all year round?
We are indeed. The only time we're closed is the 3 days around Christmas. And apart from that, we're open every single day of the year.
So again, lots to do in the fall, in the winter season in Ireland, lots of wonderful experiences like this for your clients. It's a great time to travel in terms of, it's not as busy. There is, it's a lower season rate as well for travel. So just to keep that in mind. And then just one more question, I think, for you, Helen. I think the price is at the distillery, generally, depending on the tour your clients need. Again, we'll work with you on that, but they roughly start, the standard tour, I think it starts about $30-$35 per person. So great value there. And then for under 18s, they are welcome to visit, right? We obviously provide a soft drink option, a soda or something for them.
Correct. Under 18s are most welcome, so long as they're accompanied by an adult.
Yeah. And yes, the entry to the distillery is by guided tour only. So it does need to be pre-booked. For clients that arrive, we wouldn't want them to be disappointed to find the tour is sold out. So just to bear that in mind as well. And then Ray, just 2 questions for you then as well. Again, somebody asking, Kathy's asking, is the hotel open all year round?
Exactly the same as Helen, just the 3 days of Christmas, 24, 25, 26. We're closed, otherwise all year round.
Perfect. And as I've mentioned, we have a lot of people still looking at traveling over the Thanksgiving holiday, over the Christmas season coming up to Christmas. So definitely keep that in mind as your clients are still booking travel.
And then Mary, Cork do a great experience at Christmas, because they have the Solace, which is a kind of an experience of light in the heart of the city. And there's also a phenomenal Ferris wheel. So actually, it's very, very festive, and it's great for both couples and families actually around Christmas time in the city.
That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, that's great. So again, so much on offer all year round in Ireland. And then just the last question, Ray, is the hotel child friendly? Is it suitable for families?
It is suitable for families. We're not family friendly per se, so there's lots of family friendly options around Ireland. We are more catered around couples, but in saying that, for example, for multi-generational stays, it would involve multiple rooms. We do have 3 sets of interconnecting rooms on property, but we don't have any family rooms per se. We also have 4 fully disabled access rooms as well, so that's available. But for example, Mary, the cinema is an over 18 cinema. So
there you go, yeah.
If you're bringing kids, it's not available for kids, but the pool area is open from 9 till 6 for children to use daily.
Yeah, and I think obviously, I'm not sure how old the kids are. Evelyn's asking that question. So again, we would tailor it, depending on how old the children are and whatnot. But yes, it is a luxury hotel offering, and like I said, the suites are all are for double or single, not twin occupancy. So just small little things like that to keep in mind that are really important. But again, I can't go through all the wonderful comments that are here. So I'm sure Helen and Ray are seeing them, excuse me. So thank you to everybody for joining us, for your feedback. We're delighted to have your time today, and we'll see you for our next webinar. You'll be hearing about that shortly. Helen, Ray, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a million.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.